Hello everyone, Richter here and welcome to another Torchlight Infinite video. Today I'm going to show you the build I'm currently playing, which is Flame Spirit Iris. So we're gonna go ahead and do the T7 Traveler. First one for this character. I just reached level 90. You will see that this setup is a little bit different than what everyone else is doing with Flame Spirit Iris. Yep, damage is still a little bit low. Let's switch to the Fincron. I think the Fincron is going to be better in this scenario. I'm still toying around which setup is better. The one where they have, which basically gets rid of their cast speed, or this setup where they cast a little bit faster but a little bit less damage. This one seems to be better with the Fincron. But we lose the explosions. Let me make sure I have this guy on. Nothing else matters. So, you know, if we're gonna drop the card for the pedigrees, might as well try to get a couple of them extra. Yeah, so a lot of damage, and I died. Well, I don't have cap, erosion rest, or elemental rest for that matter. Very close though. There you go. We didn't get Echo of the Gods, but get a pedigree. And the passive skill. Nice. Okay. Trial of Divinity. I haven't done any of those. And City of Eterna. Okay, so this is an Iris, Flame Iris. But the trick here is that we're using the Rat Herder's Golden Rain, which this spell, what it does is that allows minions to use Spellburst, to have Spellburst. And the thing is that you need a couple of things to be done to allow that to happen. So first of all, customers also apply to Spellburst charge speed. Interesting. How much is that? Okay. Moving on. So, you get +2 charges every time you use a summon skill recently, up to 4. So basically, you can get 4 spellburst charges, and the charge speed is increased every time you use a channel skill recently, up to 400%. That means you need to cast 400 divided by 20. Sorry. 400 divided by 20. It's 20. That's it. Yeah. Okay, so you need to cast 20 times in a period of 4 seconds to be able to get the maximum amount of spell burst charge speed. But that only matters if your minions attack or cast very fast, which is not the usual thing you want to do with Iris because of the whole nourishment gaining and losing mechanic. You don't want your minions to cast too fast, but you also don't want your minions to cast too slow in this case because otherwise they will be wasting the potential of using spell burst. So uh, I'm still testing around how to use this belt if it's any good. I have the winter from the Moto character, so I'll show you how much damage we can have with a winter of origin and this thing. Of course, flame spirits are by themselves not very good um, in this setup, like not using ignite, not using the legendary memory with the ultimate. They're not very good like that. Thunder spirits seem to be better that way, and frost spirits, same thing. So, so this is just the regular damage when doing with a Winter of Origin. That's 50 million. A little bit less, a little bit more. Like they hit very hard, but they hit very slow because of the helmet. This is something I don't really like. Probably better with the Frost Spirit's ultimate because that actually has a very insane base damage multiplier. So it kind of makes sense to have it hit very slowly. And they also make it so it triggers himself very fast, so you don't really feel the pain of this. But with this combo, it's kind of rough. So what I'll do is switch to this and see how much we get that way. Again, you need to keep constantly casting this spell until you get the legendary memory. About 70 million. Now, let's see the belts in action. Again, same setup here. What you have to do with the belt is you have to channel something. That might be either the hero trait, or in this case we're using Path of Flames. But ideally I will be using Savage Charge with a staff. Okay, so as you can see, damage is way higher like this. Okay, but you need something specific to make it work. That's the catch of this belt. The line that says here that minions get spell burst upper limit every time a summon skill is cast recently. You would think that using Nourishment Life or using Summon Flame Spirits with the hero trait, or using any other skill that has the summon tag here, which is there are a lot of them, right? Any of the buffs, right? Elite Shock, Machine Army. That will be the ideal scenario. Now I don't know if this is a bug or something that got lost in translation. I haven't tried Darkgate though. I should try Darkgate, but um, nothing here seemed to work to allow them to trigger the spell burst, and I'll show you. So I'm gonna remove the green phantoms, and what I'll do is I'll only put one minion so we can see clearly how many times they're actually casting. So as you can see, that's one cast, right? Every time, only one. I'm gonna try Darkgate because I haven't used that one. It's I think the only one I didn't try. So again, no stacks of Spellburst with Darkgate, right? Okay. Now, now here I'm gonna add Grim Phantom. Now Grim Phantom auto triggers. Now you see, 2 casts, 3 casts there. Now the Green Phantom are making too much noise, but it's very noticeable, right? You see that without the Phantoms, without summon skill in this case, I think the summon means a summon minion skill, not really just a regular summon skill. That's why it would seem that uh, in order to make this build work, you need something like so. Green Phantom is very comfortable because first it's a spellcaster, so uh, it's in itself dealing some damage, not massive, but something, right? And you can double cast this skill too, and that also, as you can see, it's like a million damage. And what we're doing with the Green Phantom is making him debuff. So Mark, because Mark increased critical damage taken by enemies. I'm toying this. I've never used the support, but it seems interesting. I'm generating some command because the points that give you chance to use enhanced skills also give you command. So I have some command. So this is a chance for them to weaken. Weaken it reduces enemy damage done, and sadly they don't taunt. It would be nice if they could taunt with this as well, but the weakening itself is good. Uh, any other thing you could use here? You could use a maniacal army to add another one. If you have, for instance, if we get the candle that says aura effect for every minion affected by it, then I will definitely add maniacal army and maybe try to look for another source of an additional synthetic troop summon. Then, if you were going to do uh, element shenanigans, you could have them reap for you. So I think it's not a completely wasted slot. Although you would probably benefit from having something else here, but we'll see if the belt is worth doing all this stuff, or if it's worth just building the regular way the spirits, the flame spirits, or going frost spirits. Frost spirits is very good. Well, everybody knows that, but the memories are very expensive, right? I haven't really checked since I started rolling this character. Okay, should be okay. So this is the cold. Yeah, so that's steep, right? I mean, 900 is it's kind of affordable already. It used to be very, very, very much more expensive. The flame one is cheap, and this is very strong. However, the spell burst doesn't work with the ultimate, so that's why I'm not gonna try this with the bells. But I can also try if this is better than if this with the Winter of Origin is better than the belt as well. This could be an option to try. And if you go ultimate, you obviously want the Amazing Friends, which is somewhat expensive, right? Somewhat expensive. And but you have the prototype, which in this case I prefer to farm because this dropped quite often with the updated pirates now. And but I think the most important is the wind catcher action because you really want to automate the. It's not Wind Rider, it's the other one. This attempts to auto trigger the breeze skill. It just feels better to play that way, and that's why this is so expensive. Also, it makes it so you don't lose time. Because sometimes you might be pressing the button trying to cast it on cooldown, but you might forget to do something, or you might have like a little, if you have high ping, then you're losing time trying to recast the skill. So this is something definitely that you want to go for. Wind Rider is good, but is not as good as the other in my opinion. So uh, that's why right now I don't have to use any of those. I just need the expensive nourishment one. So I'll work my way through that. Uh, Other things that I'm doing here is, of course, Iris 1 skills levels. So I transferred a lot of stuff from the Moto. This candle with servant damage, I transferred from the Moto. The Green Phantom, this is a level 21 Green Phantom. Not that it matters. I'm using Path of Flames for now with guard and efficient gas just to reduce the cost. And also, efficient cast might have some synergy in increasing the amount of of spellburst charge speed that you ultimately get. Nourishment Laugh is mandatory when playing spirits, and in this case, I have this medium that I farm myself in the city. So it's every 7 seconds. Right now, I think we have 100% uptime. It's like 90% uptime. I need to get the extended duration higher, get this to level 20, and get the pain amplification to level 20, and maybe then I will be at 100% uptime. Uh, Maybe I'll need a medium with less trigger. 4 start because I'm still toying around going ES. The thing is, off the beaten track gives you so much space to work with mana that I ended up just not reserving life. In spite of well, I was using this helmet, which increases the reservation massively for the spirits, but uh, with off the beaten track, it's it's so massive the amount of mana that you get back that I can play on life base instead of going ES. Or we? Yep. Here skills. So charge flames. I think this aura is bad, honestly. Well, maybe this added. This is a little bit less than an added damage, and this scales. But the fact that it's not a more multiplier makes me think that this might be inferior to, for instance, Frigid Domain or Electric
Charge complete.
Conversion, and even Russian Enhancement that even gives penetration. But well, it is what you have. They don't use projectiles, so you cannot use precise projectiles. They don't attack. They are casters, so you cannot use this. So the only damage aura you have is Eliamp, which is just additional damage. And Deep Pain. Deep Pain is kinda good on them because they have this thing which is like a righteous fire, 99%. But then you'll be looking around building it differently, right? Going for additional damage over time. So you go for Cataclysm, and so yeah, mostly Cataclysm for the affliction. And you can even have the other minions apply the Cataclysm. So that's something I'm gonna try to. But so for now it's Charge Flames, Precise Illyris. I dropped this today on Moto, so I transferred that to this character. The Precise Selfless I already had from the other character. Illyris I'm doing with Selfishness because I don't really care for the minions to have extra elemental resistance, and uh, this is massive, right? So I have 53, 63, 59. Let's remove this. Look at that. It's from 63 to 59. So selflessness really good, and I can add more supports here because I actually have space. Not Standus. Yes, Standus one is actually the one that goes here, right? Uh, yeah, one even more. That's off the beaten track for you. I think it's quite frankly kind of overpowered off the beaten. And I'm using swiftness because I love running fast, and since I'm not blinking, uh, I like to have extra speed because Path of Flames gives you some, but not too much, so you can never have too much speed. And right now I'm just farming T7s, doing boss rushing to get to refill my beacons to maybe get to level 95, and by that point I will have my resistances fixed and I can start doing some T8 farming. So Fiend Crown from the other character, I bought this Fiend Nemesis. Uh, this corrosion doesn't matter, but it has a lot of damage, and it gives them initial growth. This amulet I crafted today on the other character as well. It's very good, and what I want to do is get the dream affix here for your crit applies to your minion's crit and crit damage, and that'll be GG. That's why I didn't go for a +1 base or a minion damage base, because I don't care about it, and it's more expensive. This one is just a +1 with it has affixes here that don't really matter at this point, but they will once I get the mod here. This for the levels, the belt already. Uh, this amulet is good. The command, it's gonna end up being a little bit useful, but not something you want on Iris. Of course, you would want uh, additional damage per growth, of course, on the rings. Uh, Here, elemental destruction. So that's why I'm doing grudge. So, because what I do is the only thing I have to hit is this. When you stop channeling, you actually hit with your Path of Flames. So since I have grudge, the enemy is always gonna have elemental destruction on them. But since I don't really have base on the bar, I can get the elemental destruction here, and you can upgrade this tier 0 to get it like I think level 10. For the wand, I'm doing spell level, spell skill level, minion damage, and additional damage for spell burst. It's kinda, well, you're going for that. The GG for me would be a staff, and I'm for now doing plus spell damage here, and minion attack and cast speed. This again I had from the other character. Already went for the candle, which is 7 damage. In terms of slates, so isomorphic, and standard iris, you want +1 every slate, +2 if you can, basically. you know uh, Something quite interesting is that spirit mages, so regular minions stop synthetic troop scale their base damage up until level 30. Spirit mages scale their base damage up until level 40, so they're much better than synthetic troops in that regard. That's why you want to get as many skill levels as possible. Right now I'm +17, so you want ideally here to be at least +20 to get that maximum amount of base damage. And you're also gaining. I don't know if you still get the 8% additional damage multiplier from each level beyond level 30. I think you still do. So you're getting base damage and multiplicative damage beyond level 30. So that's why uh, those levels to this minions is so good. So I have 17 because so from Slates it's one here, one here, one here, plus one here. Isomorphic means that I'm taking Mighty Guard, which is another +2, and gives growth. It gives command, very good. I want isomorphic because I want to give the minions the mod for additional damage casted by spellburst. And here you just do the standard stuff. In this case, crit rate, crit damage. Probably cooldown recovery is gonna be worth it, or even worth for the minions. +1 additional chance to use an enhanced skill. Once I get enough fire resistance, I can get rid of some of these points. In Alchemists, again doing minion damage, cast speed. This I have to remove because I'm not doing any elements whatsoever, and I can maybe move them into some skill area. Movement speed per minion because I like to run fast. Chance to use enhanced skill. So I have calculated that I have from God of Machines 24% enhanced skill chance here. From Alchemist is 12%, which you get from here. And Harvest Time, the support, as long as they're in stage 2, which they always are because of the minimum growth, I'm getting an additional 15%. And what we're doing to get 100% is... oh, I didn't realize I wasn't using Battle Trumpet. Interesting. I need to test the damage again now. But I was using Battle Trumpet to get the 100%. And getting pretty standard stuff plus levels. You want to eventually get this to get a little bit of tankiness. And there's a lot. This tree is amazing. Like all of these trees these trees are all amazing. Machinist is not great. Like the points themselves are not great, but the passives like this kinetic conversion is very good. And same thing about Broken Shell. But Alchemist in itself is very, very good. Like getting the reduced damage, reduced seal mana here. But even if you don't get that, you can get this more energy shield and life into your barrier. And here you have two options for damage and one for sustain. This tree is very good. And the third option, it lies between Steel Vanguard and Warlock. Now, I'm a big fan of Off the Beaten Track. I didn't know that this also nullified because is it. I don't think it worked like that before. Where, for instance, precise heal conversion used to work this way, where you would. So this has the additional seal mana here, right? And it has a mana cost multiplier. So Off the Beaten Track used to work only for this line, but not for this line. But the precise seal conversion had a mana cost multiplier instead of an additional mana cost, and that's why it was so good with Off the Beaten Track. But the way it seems to work now is that this additional mana is getting nullified. Now, how can I test that? Uh, Eliamp is 30%. I do have some reduced aura reservation, but if I try to equip precise seal conversion here, no, regular seal conversion here, you see that's 43%. So it's a little bit like 60%, less than a little bit less than 60%. Okay, no, so it doesn't seem to work this way. Just since it increases the level that much, it reduces the amount of seal mana by it. Okay, just gonna delete that from the video because it's stupid. Or maybe I'll just leave it there to so that everyone realizes my mistake. Okay, of the beaten track is good regardless of that minor error. Anyway, uh, Warlock, you don't have damage here. You don't have minion crit. You don't have minion cast speed. You don't have minion damage. What you have is utility and defense. So you don't have life, but you get the energy shield here. Then you can move into skill effect duration. Is very important for Iris because of nourishment life. So these points are massive, very, very strong. Then you get sealed mana. Then you get empower skilled effect. Also very important for Iris because we can transfer the empower skill effect to their minions. And the minions in this case, the flame spirits get a lot of crit chance from their empower skill. Then getting energy shield charge speed, some more energy shield. Interruption doesn't stop when taking damage. And then CDR, and one of the best nodes in the game, in my opinion, the +1 max charges. And from here, you will eventually want to get the +1 to all skills because this is kind of a broken point because it affects everything. You get +1 to everything, literally. Passive, you get support skills get +1, the active skills get +1, so it's +1 to absolutely everything. It's massive. So even if I don't benefit from this or from this, if I can maybe click it or from this, it's worth getting it, but maybe later on. So those are passives. Those are the already went through the slates, already went through the gear. What matters is all that's left now is to level up this character up to level 95 perhaps, and level the skills a little bit and see how it evolves from there, if it's gonna be any good, or if I will have to pivot it into Bifrost Spirit or Ignite Flame Spirit. Anyway, that was a long video, a little bit rambly, but hopefully you got something from it. And if you did, and if you're still watching at this point, let me know what's the best sci-fi movie of the last 10 years. Uh, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.